Welcome to the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast.
Hello, everyone. This is Jarvis Escott with What's Happening Birmingham. Today, I got the honor and pleasure. I think this is my first husband and wife duo team interviewing at the same time on the podcast. Dr. Cassandra Minig and I'm calling you Dr. Orlando Minig with Minig Integrated Group Solutions. How are you all today?
You're doing great.
Doing very well. Thank you.
Great.
How are you?
Yeah, hanging in there. Want to bring them on today because I really love what their business do, the services they offer. This first time both of you all on the podcast, do a quick little intro about just tell the audience about yourself.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Jarvis, for having us today. We really appreciate the opportunity, and we especially thank all of our clients over the years who have been with us, especially through the pandemic. We thank you. I'm Dr. Cassandra Minig, and I'm owner and CEO of Minig Integrated Group Solutions, or M.I.G.S, and been doing this since 2016.
And I'm Orlando Minig. I'm the Director of Business and Finance here at M.I.G.S, and I've been doing this since 2016 as well. And Sandra will tell you a little more about what we do.
Yeah, so we're small business consultants.
Okay, so tell me, I know a lot of times when people always use the term business consultant, that seems kind of like a broad term, but what specifically just tell me what's your secret sauce, I like to call it, when it comes to that.
Wow. Yeah. Well, if I can tell you, the secret sauce to what we do is we decided over the years, we've seen some gaps in what small business owners have experienced throughout the years of serving small businesses, small to mid-sized businesses. And so we decided to be unique in offering what we call business concierge services, where we help to leverage the playing field for business owners who may not have the access that some of the larger companies have, and kind of bridge the gap there so that we're doing some things on the teaching end when we call it training or business development of the small business owner. Things like knowing your numbers, what is a balance and loss sheet? What is your profit and loss? What's your balance sheet? Know your numbers of your company. What are you doing to structure your company properly? So we noticed that there were some gaps there. And then being able to get the business owner contract ready, credit worthy, so that when they apply for grants or when they apply for contracts or do any type of bidding, they have a very good underpinning of their business.
Yeah, and that's one of the conversations like I've had with your husband, and I have other fellow business owners like me. I'm actually going into my 16th year, but I always tell people if I had to do all over again, yeah.
Yes, you have to pause there.
Everybody can't see I got a couple strands of gray hair somewhere. Well, it's so many steps. Like for example, we're gonna go into like action items into the sheet that you all kind of got called business health check action items that people do. Like for example, they'll go get the EIN, but won't go get incorporate, or they'll do step 1 and step 2 I just mentioned, but they'll open up a business checking account.
Right.
Or I like how you say as far as like where to go get government contracting, but they won't get, pay them privilege taxes or whatever I like to call it. But it's a lot of different steps. And like you said, a lot of times it's a lot of gaps. And a lot of those gaps we just don't really know. Because when we really start the business, we start off with, okay, well, I just got this dream, or I got this skill, or I feel like it's a service that I can go in and kind of feel the need, kind of like M.I.G.S and say, find need to feel it. And I don't think about all the things in the missing. So what are some of the things like, say for instance, if I was a brand new, I'm gonna get 2 types of business. Say if I was a brand new business, just came to you and say, hey, I got this great business idea. How would you all help me if I was that type of business? Where if I was a business that's been in business for at least 5 years or more, or 3 to 5 years?
Sure. Great question. And let me back up, because I think a lot of times when we're dealing with small business owners, one of the first things we ask is, what's your vision? What's
Okay.
your mission? Because your vision should drive what your business is about. Our vision is we are change agents sharing the love of Christ as we develop, integrate, and expand businesses, organizations, and systems, helping people to achieve their potential. So when we're talking to a small business owner, we're asking them, what is the big picture for you? If we said there's no parameters, what's your dream? And then what we do, our mission, which is the focal point of what we do, we also ask that you have a mission statement to drive what you're doing day by day. So for us, our mission is
zoning in on the problem and bringing a solution.
Yeah.
Zoning in on the problem and bringing a solution. We find the pain points, and then even before we get to the pain points, actually, we try to figure out, exactly what are you looking to do with this business? Because it may be something you're thinking about doing next week, maybe something you're thinking about doing in the future. And there's different steps you take during that process. We tell every business owner, we make every business owner, no matter how small you are, think big business. And that's why those business health checks are in place. So we want you to think big. People think thinking big is real expensive, and it's not. It's just going through the steps, step by step, and making sure you have everything in place, and then things will fall into order. It's amazing how a strong foundation put in place can help you grow exponentially over the years.
exactly.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned this in like our phone conversation. Is like when you first start your business, when you first fill out that initial paperwork, that's kind of like your business birth certificate.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you don't have that information right on your business birth certificate, then you got to go back and pay for it to get changed. And what I mean, like for example, is say for instance, when you first start your business, you don't have a business location. You just got your home address.
Right.
Yes.
But little do you know, years later, when he's trying to apply for loans or trying to apply for business lines of credits or credit cards, that may be a one flag that strikes you off. It was just that easy.
Yeah.
All you had to do was just go a virtual office, which is more prevalent and popular these days.
Exactly. And that's really how we started. Our business model is we are virtual. We were virtual before the pandemic. So that was also a unique point because we were looking at the small business owner. A lot of times they cannot travel and actually don someone's doors during the regular business hours. So what we decided to do was make it more efficient for couples who have families, single moms and dads. Get online with us. We were open Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. And so most of the things, including, Sunday, not Sunday, it's later on Sunday, 2 to 8. But that's really how we started to meet that need and be more efficient. So again, when we're walking people through, the business concierge services is helping you see why certain I's need to be dotted and the T's crossed. Because a lot of times, like you mentioned, we just don't know what we don't know. And it's always good to have someone to walk you through it and not make you feel embarrassed for not knowing some of those things as a business owner. Because like you said, you have a passion. If your passion is cooking chicken and you do that chicken very well, we want you to be able to continue to do that and not really get overwhelmed with all of the paperwork. So that's part of why we do what we do, is to make sure that you don't get overwhelmed with the paperwork, but then also know what it takes so that from step A to Z, your business will be healthy if you go through these checklist items that you, as you mentioned, 5 years later, you don't have to look over your shoulder and wonder, did I do that right? Did I file my taxes properly? Did I set up my company properly? Should I be a LLC? Should I be a nonprofit? Because we do that as well. And so we get those questions quite frequently, more than what we ever thought we would over the years. But that's one of the things that we major in, is making sure you ask questions along the way so that we can work out the kinks and target that problem and bring a solution.
What are some things, going back earlier, like I said, well, if I was a new business, walking through the what can you do for me? What can you do This, I guess, is kind of like a two-part question. Is what can you do for me if I'm been in business maybe 3 to 5 years, and what are some things you see that sometimes business owners in that 3 to 5 years being in business, what's some missing gaps, you call it?
Yeah.
Right. Well, first we want to see, even if you've been in business for 3 to 5 years, have you got to a point where you're growing your business, or you're still staying at a certain level? Because at a certain point, you may want to grow your business, and growing your business may be funding, it may be additional funding, it may be additional sales, it may be looking at your structure, your business financially, what your costs. We started out, basically I started out working with an accounting, helping individuals with their accounting, QuickBooks, and also with their costing, understanding their costs and things of that nature. So that's part of the process as well. We would sit down and see if they have a business plan, what their business plan was 3 years ago, or what it is now, and where are some of the, as I mentioned earlier, some pain points that they want to address. Because as a business consulting firm, we're pretty broad in what we can do and what we have done. So we would send them through we ask a few questions. We're all about relationships. So we're going to ask questions to make sure we understand what's needed, because we want to help. I mean, so we'll ask a few questions, then we'll see, where you're at now and where you want to be. And then we'll help you get where we want to be by whether it be lending, try to find you some institutions that are providing the lending that you need for your company, whether you're a engineer, a lawyer, you do professional services like a plumber, whatever you are, we can assist you in that area. It may be you thinking about building something for the future, planning for the future of your business, legacy building. We'll look at that. And the integration in our name is unique because we work with other organizations that we can pass you to as a referral. Sure. So if we cannot help for whatever reason, we're going to find someone that can help you and refer you so you can keep going.
The other thing I want to add to that, Jarvis, is we're not a one-stop shop, because a lot of times if you think one-stop shop, people can see that as think your services are not quality. We specialize in quality services so that, again, you understand your business. My background is research, so I'm going to make sure that we understand the market that you're in, which is a lot of times some people don't realize you have to look at location. So we don't want you to fall into that trap of being in the desert somewhere and you're offering a great service, but you don't have the foot traffic or anything of that nature. So part of what we're doing is, again, we hear your vision, even if you are 3, 5 years, 30 years, sometimes you need a renewed or refreshed perspective. So we like to hear from the individual, and then we go back and kind of flesh it out. And if that means a business plan, whether it be full or lean, Rick, we can help you do that. And one of my specialties that we love to do is get you prepared to do business with the government. The government, will buy all types of services. So that's one of the things that a lot of times small business owners don't have access to, that because it's almost speaking a foreign language, if I can put it like that. Yeah.
Now, I will say this too. One of the things I liked about when you sent me over the information is that you all do a lot of show business owners how to manage their QuickBooks on the side. Can you kind of tell them like the service that you all are offering right now on how to use QuickBooks? And for small business owners, QuickBooks is almost like, if you can't afford a monthly accountant, QuickBooks is probably your next best, probably best option.
Cost-wise, it's very, very, very good product to have. It's not very expensive, but what we offer is, right now we're promoting training and administration, and both of those areas. The training part is setting you up in QuickBooks if you don't have a QuickBooks file, setting it up correctly, because one thing is buying the software, another thing is setting it up correctly to use it the way it needs to be used in your particular industry. So we provide that right now up until February 28th. Right now, it's about the end, but we may make some changes. But we're offering that at $60, one flat fee to set you up and to get you ready to use your QuickBooks.
And that's the value of.
And it's a $330 value because you're getting 90 minutes of service, direct service from us virtually, plus an hour of off-site service. We'll make sure that everything is functioning correctly for you. So it's a $330 value for $60. We're also providing QuickBooks administration as your bookkeeper at $79 a month right now for 3 months. That's a $229 value. $79 per month for 3 months. After 3 months, we'll have to look at it and then see how we go further. But that's our 2 offerings we have right now.
Okay.
If I can add to that, you mentioned a small business owner. Sometimes this is, you're having issues with your books and managing your customers, and QuickBooks is a wonderful way. Make sure even if it's online, you're able to get that information out fairly quickly on the run. We do it all the time. Make sure your invoices and everything look professional. I stress that, professional. Even though you may be small, you're thinking big. So that's one of the reasons why we wanted to offer this opportunity for small business owners to get their books in order and also get that professional look. You have 2 qualified, over 20 years together, over 30 years worth of certified QuickBooks online specialists here that can help you through this process. So that's why we wanted to do that for this time period, because we know taxes are due for a lot of people. And so that's one of the reasons we wanted to help with this particular offering.
And that's just 2 areas. You may be a customer owner that needs help with pulling their financial information from 2022. We also do that. We do the full gamut of full charge bookkeeping assistance as a QuickBooks advisor.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it's just so important. Like, even like you said, having QuickBooks, you can have it, but unless you know how to go in and classify it, and it's almost when you first say you have to thing with plug-in numbers. For a lot of times, my experience with QuickBooks, sometimes they misclassify certain items that you've in transaction. So unless you go in and do it, it stands to throw your numbers off even more. One thing I was gonna say too, I think all these steps you mentioned, like business bank account, tax ID, legal structure, register name, taxes, license permits, how to pitch, it's like step by step, honestly, what a person needs to do before they even start opening their business.
Yeah, some of it is. You definitely want to look at the checklist, and sometimes, like you mentioned before, people don't know, hey, if I start and go downtown, you may not go to the right place. And this is where our concierge services come into play, because we've had people to get lost if they're coming from a different area. We do that for you. That's part of the concierge service. And then being able to talk about what do you need, because some things you may not need, like certain permits, it may not be applicable to you depending on where you live. So this is one of the reasons why we use this as a guideline. And if we never see you again, you have a good piece of information to help get your business started correctly. And that's the operative word. We want to make sure it's done right, and done right the first time, not 3 years later, but the first time.
Man, that's cost if you don't do it right the first time, or you keep making mistakes. Like, you don't pay your taxes, it just keep rolling like one big old snowball.
Yes.
Over, especially like the privilege taxes. I know this is last year for the privilege taxes, but man, anybody that's owned a business the past 10, 15 years know about privilege taxes. That if you don't pay it by a certain hypothetical date here in Alabama, it has a $50 fee, and then they start collecting interest, and then you be like, well, I still don't want to pay the fee. But like you said, say if you want to get government certified, if you're not in good standing with the Secretary of State, and they see, oh, he owes a tax right here, you can't even do it. And that's small things. And a lot of times when you do get that, they're not going to tell you that at the probate office or at the county, or when you go get a license, just different things like that.
Exactly. And that's where we leverage the playing field. You even mentioned, even with QuickBooks, when you're doing certain things, that's why we provide the training, some basic part of it, so that you're able to see what you can do as a business owner.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and that's like, say, even with your business, you have to, when you first, and that's not they work around the clock. literally work around the clock, we'll wear you out.
Oh, yes, sir.
As you get older and more you get in business, just finding different things for people to delegate.
Yes, that's it,
Delegate,
sir.
delegate too, because you could say, for instance, like, yeah, you could, like, doing your QuickBooks.
Yeah.
That hour you could be doing, trying to focus on sales and marketing instead of trying to figure out how this QuickBooks thing works.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's another reason why we've extended our services that way, because we do understand some people just don't want to do that. And that's their prerogative. They don't have to do the books that way. That's what we're here for. So that's another service that we provide in the concierge realm. If you don't want to ever see that part of it, we do that for you. And then we give you a general summary month to month, so you know how your business is doing. Because as a CEO, you do need to know how your numbers are looking, at least be knowledgeable on that respect. And then we take it from there, so that, as you mentioned, you can continue to do what you love to do. You might not like to do back office kind of things.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, one of the mistakes I made, you try to be don't get me wrong, being a jack of trades is good. Also being a jack of trades, you learn a lot, but also the con part of being a jack of trades is you could have devoted that time to something else.
Exactly.
That you could have done. So walk me through, like, what's the next steps if somebody want to get in contact with you all, set up like consultation, things like that.
Yeah. So the best way to get on our schedule is to go to MIGS.solutions/contact, and that will get you on our schedule. You can pick the time that you would like to have a free 20-minute consultation with us, so that you can see what we do, and we can also see how we can best assist you. Again, as we mentioned, if that doesn't fit, the question that you may have, if it doesn't fit, then we also refer. That's the other thing, that we love to support small businesses, especially small minority businesses, because again, sometimes the access isn't there. So we never want to leave someone unsupported. So the best way to get in touch with us is to go to our website, Migs.solutions, and then /contact.
Okay, yeah, and I'm gonna have it scrolling on the tag on the screen as well. So what are some last things, or just one thing you want to tell if somebody's thinking about, what was I thinking about on the business, but let's just say right now, this time of year, right now, what's one pressing thing you want to tell business owners, especially what you all probably dealing with your clients?
One thing I would want to share is that this time of year is the best part of the year to get ready for the whole year.
Okay.
What we do is we quarterly with our clients, we visit our clients quarterly to make sure that quarter was clean for them. As far as whether their bookkeeping, they want to increase their marketing. We go every 3 months to make sure everything is good. So at the end of the year, they have a good assessment, not only just for their taxes, because at the end of the year, a lot of times when people want to pull their taxes together, the information together, but if you're looking at things during the year, all year, then at the end of the year, it's just a process of just turn your stuff in, you're ready to go. But this is what we call a relationship period of building relationships for the whole year. So since we're a relationship-based organization, I think that's what I want to share.
And I'd like to share, building on the relationship also helps you to develop pipelines, whether you are for-profit or nonprofit. Relationships can propel you forward. So one of the things, as you mentioned, if you are a startup or if you've been in business over 30 years, it's always good to have a pipeline of where you can get funding. And so part of what we do is help you get prepared to receive that funding, whether it's local, state, private, or federal. And so that's one of the things that we like to explain to people right now. Let's get you contract ready. Get on in here and get you certified, whether it's through SBA, ALDOT, if you are a truck driver, whatever industry you're in, let us get you prepared for that. This is the season to do that.
Yeah, especially when it's like downtime, and a lot of times at this time of year too, it's like when it's time to renew, because sometimes if you do it later on in the year, you have to, I call it the double whammy. You have to pay towards the end and then come pay towards the beginning.
Yes.
So, it's always, the earlier you do this, and like I tell anybody that's watching this, like, we spend so much time when we first start business, we just point and shoot and just go do it. We'll instead of just sitting thinking about it, planning it out on paper,
Right.
because you're gonna miss some things, and it's good to know that certain services like this is out there. So, but give that website once again.
Yes, it's Migs, M-I-G-S .solutions, and we'll be happy to help you. If you just go in, you can schedule your own 20-minute free consult so that we can get you in the right direction, get you supported, and make sure that you have the access that you need. So that's Migs, M-I-G-S .solutions, and just go to our contact.
Okay. One want to make sure that you are, of course, in addition to having the website, also have the other flyers. And please take advantage of these services. Definitely, if you think about starting a business or you in business right now, it will save you a whole lot of time. And also, I would say it will save you a whole lot of money. But most importantly, it will save you a whole lot of headaches down the road. So thank you both for coming on today. Thank you all for watching this podcast. Please check out what'shappenedbirmingham.com for more interviews. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and don't forget to check out the audio version of this on Apple Podcasts. Thank you all again. Have a great day. And I guess one last thing too, make sure when you do a Zoom, make sure you get your coffee. Zoom for an interview. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank
Take
you.
care, sir. All right.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast. Please check out our website or subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest videos today.